Imagine you have an idea about a team project that could impact your client. You're not sure if it's a good idea yet and are unclear about how your manager will react if you speak up. What would you do? Would you say something or stay silent?
Samira, did you want to say something? Please share. I really do want you to speak up. Okay, you two, if you have some ideas, let me know. I appreciate it when you share your thoughts. It makes us better as a team.
I've got ideas, but I'm not sure I want to share them with the larger team yet because I haven't fully fleshed them out, and I don't want to frustrate anyone if I don't have enough details to answer questions, especially because my last idea didn't go over too well.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I wouldn't suggest you share any ideas with the team until you have the details. I tried it once, and the team didn't respond well because I couldn't answer questions fully, or they were punching holes in my suggestion to try to show me that my idea wasn't good. So I haven't said much since.
Yeah, right. He wants to hear our opinions. If he agrees with us, but if the idea doesn't turn out right, both Eli and other team members can make you feel like you're not capable. You remember Rachel? She was always eager to share her ideas, and you see what happened to her. She left the team. That's why I just follow the lead of the team and don't share my ideas with them either. I don't want to end up like her. It just doesn't feel good, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, the last time people were having side conversations or they were talking over me while I was presenting my idea, it felt as though they didn't like what I was sharing or they didn't have confidence in me. And yes, Rachel and I talked frequently about how she felt when Eli didn't stop other team members' behaviors.
Think about a moment when you wanted to speak up but didn't. Most of us have had those moments, right? Maybe you noticed a mistake or even you made the mistake. Maybe you had an idea or a concern, but something held you back. The risk felt too high because you weren't sure how it would be received if you pointed it out. At that moment, did you feel safe? Did you feel supported? If not, you may have stayed silent. Now imagine a different kind of space, a space where your voice matters, where you can share an idea, own a mistake, ask a hard question, and still feel respected, valued, and supported. A space where trust is built, not broken. That is psychological safety. And psychological safety is like oxygen. When it surrounds us, you barely notice it, but it fuels you. You can be innovative, think, and emotionally breathe. But when it's missing, it negatively impacts your ability to produce at your highest level, and the environment doesn't feel welcoming or safe. We shrink, we hide, we lose the very creativity and connection that make teams strong. No matter where you are in an organization, if you're a staff, a lead, a manager, or an executive, I'm willing to bet you've felt that way at some point within your career. And if you're a leader, think back. Has someone on your team ever hesitated to speak up? Have they held back an idea, a question, or even a concern that needed to be heard? Or wait, I have a different question. Have you paid attention to or encouraged your staff to speak up, to challenge your thoughts or the status quo, to innovate and learn from their mistakes? If you haven't, then you may not be establishing the type of culture where your team will give you their best. You see, psychological safety is what gives people at all levels of the organization permission to take interpersonal risks. It's what allows each of us to be honest, to admit mistakes, to challenge the dominant thinking of the group. It's also what fuels trust and high performance. It's not a matter of if, but how do we, no matter our position within the organization, foster it? So ask yourself, what kind of space are we creating, individually and collective, as a leader and as a member of the team? Is it one where everyone can breathe? Which work environment would you prefer? Is it a work environment where employees feel comfortable taking risks, sharing ideas, and making mistakes without fear of negative consequences? Or one where you're afraid to speak up, take risks, or be vulnerable because there's a lack of trust, fear of judgment, or other negative dynamics in your organization? Well, I don't know about you, but I cannot do my best work when there is intimidation, fear of retribution, or a feeling that if I express a dissenting opinion, it will be met with criticism. Maybe that's the environment Mario, Samira, Deja, and Rachel have worked in, an environment that is psychologically unsafe. When we sense a potential threat, even subtle ones like judgment or exclusion or reprimand, our brain processes it as danger. And the brain sends signals that activate the body's stress response. Our heart rate increases, cortisol rises, and our muscles tense. And when that happens, it narrows our attention, heightens anxiety, and shuts down creativity. The reason this happens is because our brains are wired for survival first, learning and creativity second. This is called the brain's threat response system. So the brain focuses on self protection and starts asking questions. Maybe you've heard them in your head. Okay, I need to protect myself. Should I stay silent? What if I'm wrong? If I admit to my mistake, how's that going to impact me? But when we feel trusted and supported, the brain stays in what scientists call a learning or growth state instead of survival mode, and we can process information clearly, share ideas effectively, admit mistakes, and even problem solve better. This is why psychological safety matters so much. Now, let me ask you, do you want to be in an environment where you operate in survival mode or an environment where psychological safety is centered into your daily experience? I think we'd all agree that psychologically safe environments is where people feel empowered. Now, I don't want to oversimplify it because it's not just about your manager and team members being nice. It's about being safe and respecting people for who they are and opening up space for people to be authentic, to be creative, and to share their ideas, even when they're different from yours. Psychological safety is also an environment where people believe that mistakes are part of the learning process, not something to be punished or feared. Let's take a look.
Hey, I noticed something in the monthly report. I think there's an error in the client data we sent.
Wait, how did we miss that?
This is the moment of truth for both Samira and Eli. What happens next will shape not only their working relationship, but also the culture of the entire team. So, what will Eli do? And how will Samira feel based on his reaction? What message do you think Eli's response sent to Samira? And how will that impact the way she operates going forward? And let us know what you think Eli should have done differently.